Alright, guys. So it is February the 4th, I think. Let me check. No, it's February the 5th. So it's Wednesday, February the 5th. Y'all, I'm laughing because last night was mad crazy. So this is the second time, ouch, I've had to sleep in my truck, right? Because I'm a regional driver. So technically, excuse me, technically, the routes that I run, I really could go home at night, right? Because they're normally short routes. They're usually only about 2 to 3 hours out. So last night, I already knew I wasn't going to make it back home, because when dispatch sent me my route, it said Sterling, Virginia. So I had did my trip plan all that, and I knew I wasn't going to make it back home. So I was prepared to spend the night in Sterling, Virginia. Yo, the ride up here was mad crazy. That is the longest ride ever. It was supposed to be 6 hours and 50 minutes, y'all. But let me give you the story. Let me give you the tea, baby. So, leaving out, the trip started out all right. Excuse me. I had plenty of time on my clock to get here. So I left, I think, at like 12:45. I left the distribution center at 12:45. So I'm driving, y'all. It seemed like this drive was never going to end. So I don't have my toilet on here yet. I have a portable toilet, but I don't have it on here yet. But I will as of Friday. And I'm going to put me a little shower kit on here. So those are the only two things that and my microwave. So those are the only three things that I don't have on here yet. So during the course of the drive, I left my urinal and I had to pee. But I held it for the longest, y'all. So the route to get here, all mountain driving. Uphill, downhill, curve hill, curves. Curve here, curve there, downhill, uphill. Y'all, my nerves, I've never had anxiety that I know of. But if anxiety feels anything like what I felt last night trying to get here, baby, my nerves was on edge. Now, the route, it wasn't like I was gonna fall off a cliff or that. They had guardrails and stuff throughout the whole route, but it's just the fact of knowing you are way up in the air, and one wrong move could, become a potential bad situation. But I drive slow, and I always try to be cautious and look far ahead like they taught us. So it was just, like I said, the idea of going way up the hill and then 8% downgrade, and you going around the curve, 6% downgrade. Y'all, that was a lot. And I feel like this route was too much for a woman. But I did it. Thank God I thugged it out. So, y'all, what was supposed to be a 6 hour and 50-minute ride turned into like an 8-hour ride. So where I ain't gonna say I messed up, but what went left was I had to pee so bad and I couldn't hold it. And at the same time, my clock was running down from my 30-minute DOT break. So I get off the highway. I was 45 minutes from my drop. I get off the highway. I find a shopping center. I park. I run in this little kebab restaurant to get something to eat. I pee, da-da-da-da. Come back. I had like 4 minutes left on the clock. So I didn't even get to eat my food right then. I tasted it and then I put it to the side. So I pull on off, y'all, and I'm like, thank you, Jesus, I made it here. By then, it was like, I think it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Pull on off, I get to the stoplight. My GPS is taking forever to reroute me, y'all, but I couldn't just sit at the intersection. So the GPS said go to the left. But I'm looking like that's not how I came in here. But it's the GPS, so I'm going to go to the left. So I'm going to the left and it's telling me to go straight. Well, as I'm going straight, I see this sign that say no through trucks. So it was taking me through this little downtown area. So then it tells me to bust a left. So I make a left and I see a cop. And I started to stop right then and ask him to help me get back to the highway, the correct way. So I go down a little bit. I see another sign that say no through trucks. So in that moment, y'all, I had to call the police. Only because in training they told us if we get lost, stop and call the police and let them escort us back to, you know, a safe route. So I'm sitting at an intersection. It's a residential area on the left and a dirt road on the right. Oh, a bridge is in front of me. So I call, and within a matter of seconds they come. So it's a black officer. He comes. He just giggled and we both laughed. And so I'm like, I am so sorry. And I'm explaining to him, like, I think today might be my 5th or 6th day by myself solo. So I tell him, like, you know, I'm Ricky. I ain't ashamed to say it. I'm a Ricky driver. And listening to the GPS instead of my better judgment, I made this turn and I need help getting out of here. So he's like, well, to try to back up and go over the bridge or try to get you turned around in a residential area is going to be too much congestion. He was like, so I'm going to cut my lights on and block the traffic coming around you. When I cut my lights on, you just floor it, go straight. But I'm looking like it's taking no through trucks, and I'm scared because I don't know what I'm going to see when I come around this corner. So he like, baby, you at the light. It's a light right there. You go that way and make a left, and you'll be back on the highway. So y'all do what he say. I go straight. I make a left. Keep going straight. Ain't no highway. Luckily, he followed me. So I get to this other intersection where it's nothing but a dead end with construction signs saying no entrance, da da da. So there I am again, y'all. Thanks to the GPS and the officer telling me to go straight. So y'all, I had to stop straight back into, luckily it was a hospital entrance right where I stopped at. So I had to stop, straight back my truck, and then bust a left into the hospital entrance while the cop, you know, did the flow of the traffic. So I get that situated, and then finally, I guess he say I'm tired, so he escorted me back to the highway. But y'all, I felt like my girls don't set it off with the police lights and stuff escorting me. Y'all, it was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing, but I thank God. It may sound bad, but it's not as bad as I'm explaining it. But I do thank God nobody was hurt. It was a safe escort, and I do thank God I was able to maneuver the straight back to, you know, bust a left to get it into that hospital entrance so that I could be sitting straight and then turn right and follow the officers back to the highway. And thank God they were so understanding, y'all. So boom, 45 minutes later, I finally get to my drop, which was Sterling, Virginia. Y'all, worst experience ever. So I pull up. There's a truck parked, a Werner truck. To that guy, thank you for not bothering me. Thank you for just letting me do my job. So I pull up, truck park. He really kind of in my way, but you know, for safety reasons, I just dropped the trailer so that he really couldn't see who was getting in and out the tractor, for safety reasons. So I dropped the trailer, picked up my other, did my drop and hook, swapped out my trailers, blah, 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 blah. Then I finally was able to turn around and pull in front of the truck that was facing back this way. And then I put my curtains and stuff up, did my security thing, got myself locked in, secured, and finally was able to take my shoes off and sit down on my bed and eat my food and just take a deep breath and say, what a day it has been. By then, y'all, it was like 12:15 midnight. I had been going since 12:45 noon yesterday. And then I finally got done and was able to sit down and just say, thank you, Jesus, for bringing me. Thank you, Jesus, for keeping me. And thank you, Jesus, for, you know, watching over me while I did this drop and hook. So that was the night. February the 4th. Tuesday, February the 4th was a night for you, or a day and a night for you. So top it off, because I cut my clock off so late, now I'm stuck sitting here. I got 7 more hours. Oh, Lord. I got negative 7 hours on my 14-hour clock. So I'm waiting for my reset to be up. 10-hour reset to be up. Excuse me. So my clock will reset so I can get out of here, because now I'm just stuck sitting on the side of the store that I dropped to, which we have permission to do so, rather than go to a truck stop, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, here I am just hanging out in my truck. But because I don't have my shower kit on here yet, and the Target is going to open in a minute, I'm going to go in here and get me a tote, 3 gallons of water. I got my kettle warmer up there, and I'm going to put that water in a tote, warm it up, of course, put it in the tote, stand down in the tote, take me a good old tote bath, and then take a gallon of the water that I don't use, warm it up, and of course rinse myself off and dry off. And that's gonna be showering in the truck for today. It's better than walking around funky with sweat all over me. And I wanted to get all that stuff yesterday, but I didn't know I was gonna get here so late. My intentions was to get here, drop my load, and go in Target, go in Target and get the shower stuff that I needed so I could shower last night. I felt some kind of way sitting on my bed, and I hadn't had a shower yet, but I was tired. It's trucking. But I try to be clean as possible, because trucking, it's some people out here that's nasty. You see them and you be looking like, dang, I ain't had a shower in days, and I don't want to be that person. Like I said, if I had to get in my little tote, put water in there, wash real good, and then rinse off, then that's what I'm gonna do, because I ain't finna be out here stinking, and I ain't going to no truck stop using they nasty bathrooms. Even though they say it be clean, I ain't messing with it. I'd rather stay in my own domain, in my own quarters that I know is clean, and do what I gotta do and get on back home. So that is it. That's the update. I'm out here in the world, the real world, trucking. I'm done with training, all that stuff. Just trying to stay safe and survive each route, because as I said, and as you know, trucking can be dangerous. So I really don't even know how these girls out here making these videos while they driving and stuff like that, because anything can happen in the blink of an eye. Like a car could jump in front of you, and there you are trying to make a video while you driving and slamming on brakes. I don't know. Our company don't play that. You can't be on the phone and driving at the same time. Like I saw this one girl video. She was driving holding a selfie stick, recording herself drive. Like, okay, that's cool and all, but that's unsafe. That's an unsafe driving habit, because the moment you take your eyes off that road and you so busy looking at this selfie stick trying to record yourself, what if you run into something or somebody run into you? Those are seconds that is now on your part or your record, because you were trying to look at a phone and record yourself driving instead of paying attention to the road. So my videos will never be of that sort, just because I am trying to stay safe. But I'll give y'all plenty of story times. And I forgot to tell y'all, my fifth wheel release handle got stuck last night too, so that added an extra 30-some minutes onto my drop. So with trucking, you just never know. It's almost like substitute teaching. You never know what you're gonna get from the kids one day to the next. With trucking, it's the same way. You never know what you're gonna get from one day to the next, you know. So now here I am laying here watching the trucks go by, because I have cameras in my truck. They are meant to be my mirrors. Eventually they're going to take the mirrors off the outside of my truck, and we have to use the inside mirrors. But for me, it works as a safety feature, because when I'm parked, I can see what's going on outside of my truck, you know. So I'm thankful for that. And that was another thing. I might sound like I'm rambling, but as I was driving up here yesterday, I was thinking about a Facebook post that I had made maybe 2 years back. And I had said in my post that I was claiming a 2025 Freightliner and being able to ride off into the sunset. And I don't question God, and I don't wonder, because I know, you know, that all of this is a part of my destiny. But it just be different clues that God gives, or reminders to let me know that I am on the right path, and this is, you know, what he has for me to do in addition to my wedding business. So as I was driving up here, I was reminded by the Lord that I had made a Facebook post that said, again, I repeat myself, but I had made a Facebook post that said Then I wanted a 2025 Freightliner, and basically I look forward to riding off into the sunset. So guys, guess what? The day that I got my truck or signed my truck, guess what I got? A 2025 Freightliner. And it's got the mirrors, the digital cameras and stuff, mirrors and stuff in here. And the sun was shining, which I'm gonna post that video in a minute. So in that moment, I thought back 2 or 3 days later, and I definitely thought about it yesterday when I was driving up here. Like, Lord, I said that's what I wanted, and that's what you gave me. So it's just different things that keep happening that remind me, like, no matter what the situation looked like, no matter how long it took me to get to this point, God still keeps sending me friendly reminders of different things that I had said prior to this point, to let me know that this is a part of my destiny. Now, all these crazy things that keep happening, you know, I don't think that's part of my destiny. I think it's just part of trucking. But I am grateful. I really am thankful to be living out, you know, my dream. My ultimate goal is to work for myself at the end of the day. But that takes time and it takes money. So, you know, that is in the works. But it takes time to get to that point. But I thank God for all of the incidences, my experiences, running my own brokerage and trucking company in the past. You know, all that is helping me in this moment get to the next step. So by the end of the year, I hope to have saved up enough money to be back in the office working for myself and driving occasionally when my driver needs to be off. So that's it, guys. I don't have no more story time. If you watch to the end, drop me a purple heart. Know that I appreciate you, I love you, and thank you for following my channel. And now that I have about another hour or some minutes left to get this reset, I'm gonna reset and go to sleep. All right. So maybe I don't know, y'all. I might try to get a video of me pre-tripping or something. I be saying that and I forget, you know, because we can video outside of the truck. We just can't, and inside, but we can't do it while we're driving. So I don't know. Maybe I'll find a spot to set my phone up so you guys can give me pre-tripping or some stuff. All right, peace out. Trucking with Tuki and TPL. In case you're wondering what TPL means, it means Tuki's Phenomenal Logistics. That will be the company that I will run up under, hopefully by the end of the year when I get everything situated. So I just went ahead on and put everything together for that moment. So again, Trucking with Tuki and TPL. Remember, whatever it is you're going through, give it to God. Even if you're not going through anything, seek Him, find Him, and let Him be a part of your daily life, because you can't make it in this life without the Lord. Okay? And that's my personal belief. But I'm always out here encouraging somebody else to seek and find the Lord. Your life will get a little bit easier. And the battles that you're battling with, if you're battling with any, will be a whole lot easier to deal with if you put your mind and your focus and your everything on the Lord. All right? Peace out. I'm Trucking with Tuki and TPL.